Good day, viewers. Thank you very much for watching Business Tips. This is a program which brings to you business advisory services, specifically targeting owner managers for micro, small, and medium enterprises. My name is Charlie, your host. I hold a PhD in management from Manchester Metropolitan University. And some of the services that we do offer include giving you training with regards to how you can start your business, how you can grow your business. You can also get customized advisory services in respect of strategy, leadership, organizational development, change management, as well as project management, just to mention a few. Today on this program, Business Tips, I'm pleased to inform you that I have with me a special guest who is not a stranger to entrepreneurship. He has over 20 years experience in entrepreneurship. He also has experience as a senior management consultant and having worked for some of the top leading management consultants firms here in the United Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to Richard Ferguson. Richie, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Richie. And how's social distancing? I'm right here in Manchester.
Yeah, it's an interesting time for everybody, and we're keeping safe and keeping away from people. It's important.
Thank you very much. Where are you right now? Where are you getting us?
I am just the other side of Manchester, so I'm in Ramsbottom. So
lovely.
Not far from you, but yeah, not too bad.
I can see the lovely background there of cricket.
I wish. See that's somewhere in the top of Bowland, and I have it as my background because it just reminds me that at some stage this will get lifted, and I'll be back to playing cricket again.
Right. Thank you, Richie, for agreeing to come and share with us your experience. And like I've just told our viewers, 20 years, that is not a joke. Being in business, including advising micro, small, and medium enterprises. I know you are a renowned consultant. I follow even your blog and how you keep working advice to different entrepreneurs, and even how also people do reference you, putting 5 stars on how they have actually benefited. 20 years. Just briefly, how has it been like working with SMEs?
When you say it like that, it feels quite quickly, but it's been nearly 25 years actually now.
Yes.
I was counting, and it's been great. So one of the things that I love about consulting is the fact that I get to work with lots of different industries, lots of different people, lots of different businesses, and these can be, very, very large multinational global organizations, and they are small, as you say, small to medium price enterprises, and again in such a range from agriculture and farming through to pharmaceuticals and technology. So it's been an interesting journey. The other thing that I enjoy most about it is I get to learn. I'm always meeting people like you, there's a host of people that I meet on a regular basis, and for me, meeting new people, learning new things, broadening my experience, as well as being able to share, is really, really valuable.
Yeah, thank you very much, Richie. Now today, I'm just going to kindly request you to climb down the ladder a bit and then focus on those prospective entrepreneurs, those who are considering to get into business. It could be some young men out there in Africa, maybe in Kenya, in Zimbabwe, in Tanzania, in Namibia, in South Africa, or in Mozambique, or it could be some young men or young women right here in UK who have not yet made it. Maybe they are still in college, or maybe somebody in their middle career, but the underlying thing is they are considering to get into business. How would you advise them to get into business? What should they do? How does one get into business?
Okay, I think there's a lot of different routes that you can take.
Yeah.
and as often as not, people I speak to have fallen into business, have fallen into what they do. An
Uh-huh.
opportunity presents itself and they grab them. So I think the first thing I'd say is being sensitive to and open to opportunity,
Right.
walking around with your eyes wide open,
Right.
uh, looking for and recognizing really great entrepreneurs.
Right.
And I'm not sure I'd class myself as a great entrepreneur. I am, and I've supported entrepreneurs. But even this Corona COVID-19 opportunity, you
Yeah.
know, there are people who are seeing that and are recognizing, you
Right.
know, here's the challenge.
Yeah.
How can I respond to that challenge? So for me, entrepreneurship is about a mindset. It's
Mm-hmm.
about a mindset of opportunity, and it's about being able to look.
Mm-hmm.
The other part of that, I think, is having something that you're passionate about.
Right.
One of the things I spend a lot of time coaching people on is being clear about, you know, life is too short, and again, COVID-19 is, you know, is showing us that. I've got two friends at least that have lost parents in
Oh,
the last
sorry
couple of
about that.
weeks,
Yeah.
and it shows you that life is short. So, and life is too short not to be the best that you want to be. It's a passionate phrase that I try and live my life
Right.
by,
Mm.
and that means having some sense of what you want, having some sense of purpose.
Right.
So, you know, whether you be a young man or young lady in Tanzania or Namibia or Kenya or in Manchester or London,
Or Zimbabwe.
or Zimbabwe,
Mm.
having something that you're passionate about,
Mm-hmm.
being able to make a living from your passion,
Right.
I think is really powerful. So um, being open was
Yeah.
the first, I guess, the first response.
Yes.
Open to new ideas, open to new opportunities,
Mm-hmm.
but doing so with a degree of passion and a degree of excitement about something that you feel good at. One
Yeah.
of the things that I was on a coach program called the Strategic Coach, a chap called
Right.
Dan Sullivan out of Canada.
Yeah.
And one of the things that they talked a lot about is something called unique ability. And
Unique
what he
ability.
would
Huh?
say is we all have something that we are passionate, brilliant at. And if we are clear what that is, and if we can try and focus on doing that work,
Uh-huh.
that's what motivates us, that's what energizes us, and that's what makes, and sort of time flies when you're doing that sort of work.
Mm-hmm.
So another part, I think, of this equation for entrepreneurs and for young people wanting to get into business is trying to understand what it is that they do well and that they enjoy,
Right.
partly
Let
that
me
they're
just
passionate
stop you
about.
there. Let me
Yeah,
just stop you there. Then you carry on. Let me just summarize. So there you are, viewers. If you have been contemplating getting into business, Richie has highlighted so far two critical things, and he was about to get on the third one when I said, let me just hold him there. So the first thing he said is you need to be open to ideas, being sensitive to opportunities. In other words, you need to be aware of your environment. And then secondly, he mentioned the issue of passion. Passion. You need to follow what you are passionate about. And then he was just about to explain about the unique abilities that we have. And then let me just leave this time to him to continue explaining that. Go ahead,
good.
Richie.
Great summary, Charlie. So unique ability is that thing that you're great at. And I've worked mine. So my unique ability, I think, is about building relationships really
Yeah,
quickly with people
yeah,
that enables them to be trusting of me, which
yeah,
then enables me to
mm,
challenge and help people sort through problems, sort through issues,
yeah,
and find solutions. That's what I'm really good at. And I'm very good at that in groups, and I'm very
right,
good at it on a one-to-one basis. So
right,
I'm quite clear what I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about helping, motivating, and inspiring people to build a brighter future.
yeah,
I'm clear what my unique ability is. And then bringing those three things together, you know, if you know what you're good at, you know what you're passionate about, and you remain open,
right,
then I think that gives you a real grounding. That's not, you know, they're not pragmatic basic
mm-hmm,
steps,
mm-hmm,
but for me, that gives you the opportunity to maybe find something that you have got the energy, the commitment, the desire to
mm,
want to push forward. Whether it makes you money,
mm,
whether the customer wants it or the marketplace, and they
mm,
become all the other factors, I guess. So once you've got something that you think is in line with your ability, your passion, and you've opened yourself, then clearly, you know,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, if it's a product or a service that nobody wants to pay for, then you're not going to make any money. You might not want to make money. You know,
Yeah.
some entrepreneurs are there for social enterprise,
Yeah.
supporting communities, and it's not about making money.
Yeah.
So I think that's an interesting topic. And there's a book, I was trying to find it.
Yeah. It's all right.
There's an interesting book that I
Uh,
found. I don't know if you can see it with my background. It's called
yes, I can see it. Ikigai.
Ikigai. And on the back, there is a kind of a matrix, basically.
Yes.
And what this book talks about is the sweet spot between what you love, what the world needs, what you can be paid for,
Right.
and what you're good at.
Right.
And that's a build, I guess, on what I'm saying, and that's what it just reminded me. And if you can find something that sits in the heart of that, then you're onto a winner, I
So
think.
there you are, viewers. You're hearing it from Richie of Kili Consulting. He is saying basically 3 things to get into business. This is what you need to do, okay? Remain open, focus on what you are good at, and be passionate about it. And they're just giving us that matrix again, where you need to identify what the world needs, what you are good at, and what you can be paid for. If you follow these tips, it will certainly gravitate you towards becoming a successful business person. Now we want to move over to the next theme. We are almost halfway through our discussion. The next theme is about drawing some lessons from your own experience as an entrepreneur. What is it that when you look back, you say, I think if I was going to rewind the time, I'm not going to repeat this. Or if I'm going to rewind the time, I'll still continue to do this in as much as I did it the other time. So it's not just negative things, it's both positive and negatives. What are the lessons that you draw from your own business experience as an entrepreneur, which you say, hey guys, you need to watch out about this, watch out for this?
So I think there's a number of things, and the first thing that springs to mind, which is very relevant to the consulting business,
right?
It might be different if you're a farmer or you're looking to set something, you know, a shop or something. But I still think it's relevant. And for me, at the heart of my business, and probably every business that I go into at whatever level, it's about relationships.
Relationships.
Building, nurturing, maintaining, and being able to leverage relationships,
right,
for me, is at the absolute heart of what I do. The work that I'm doing now with some of my clients I've worked with for 10 or 15 years.
Right.
Some of the work I'm doing now, I can look back, and that was working with somebody else 3 different organizations ago,
right,
20 years ago.
Right.
And your ability to build relationships, and I really don't think it matters what type of business.
Right.
You know, if you're selling, supplier relationships, customer relationships, stakeholder relationships, your ability to build strong relationships, maintain those relationships,
right,
and then leverage those relationships when it's appropriate to do so. You know, looking to get a benefit in a mutual way. For me, I think that sits at the heart of all business. Certainly in the way that I work. So mine is relationship selling. So I have some services that I offer. But there's no way I would ever sell my services to people that have never met me or don't know me. They all of my clients are people that I've either previously worked with, or their recommendations or referrals from people I've worked with.
So there you are, number 1 lesson. Ladies and gentlemen and viewers, you've just joined us. This is Business Tips, a program brought to you by Sahwira SME Hub. And we are looking at some of the ideas and tips to help you as somebody who wants to get into business. And Richie, my guest here, is saying you need to build relationships. Some people call this networks, okay? So social capital. So you need to build relationships. If you have relationships, then you can leverage upon these relationships. And sometimes you may find out that it can actually cut even significantly the amount of money you may have to pump out if you have relationships, because you may not need to advertise, as you may just get referrals through relationships. Thank you very much, Richie. You can go ahead advising us. What else, drawing from your sound experience, from your rich experience, what else would you say, I've learned this?
I think one of the other things is being is trying to be consistent,
Right.
and I want to say use processes, but without being too complicated or over engineering.
Right.
But whatever you do, even it starting at a very small level,
Yeah.
my experience, trying to think about that with a slightly bigger perspective, recognizing that I might be small now and it might just be me and Charlie working.
Yeah.
But if we're successful, then there might be 7 or 8 or 12 or 15 or 20 of us. And how do you create consistency and a standard way of doing something? Now, whether that be ordering things from your suppliers, marketing things in a shop, building products, whatever it might be, how do you create, I would use the term rigor and robustness and consistency. So starting small but thinking big, probably, and ensuring that you're consistent. And I think that's a really important learning from me. It's my business, but I still treat it in some ways as a big business and have some pretty standard and proper procedures and processes in place. So I think that's an important idea.
So there you are, viewers. Richie is saying consistency, and he has also added the word robustness and rigor in how you do things. And he's saying, although you are starting small, but you think big. In other words, though you are small, you may be the only person, you are doing everything, but you need to envisage as you begin to grow, and maybe as you take on the second person, the third, the fifth person, it brings in complication there. Therefore, how are you going to put up the structure? How are you going to order the tasks? And how are you going to put up the systems so that as you deliver your goods or your products and services, whether you are producing them, or whether you are a middleman, or whether you are in consultants, there should be that rigor and that consistency. Maybe one more lesson from your experience. What else do you think they should take into consideration?
I think the last is probably be really clear about customer, really focused on customer. When we're passionate and excited about a product or a service, we get hooked into the fact that this is the best cup you've ever seen. This is what you need. It is a great cup, but if nobody wants to buy it and nobody else likes it, then it doesn't matter how good the cup is. And the trouble with entrepreneurs, or the opportunity or the risk, is this. The flip side of passion. Passion is brilliant. But if we're too passionate about what we want, what we think, then we might be missing an opportunity. So for me, it's about a balance and a focus with being really clear about who your customers are. What is it that your customers want? And it's probably not even just customers. It's broader than that. It might be stakeholders. So there might be customers. There might be people in the community. They might be financial stakeholders. Who knows? But being able to see things from other people's perspective. The passion and energy and desire that we have is brilliant, but sometimes we can be blinkered. So how do you make sure that you're able to appreciate the way your customer wants, what your customer thinks, what your customer feels, so you can ensure that you're always giving them what they want as opposed to what you think they want. So this ability to have dialogue with your customer, and don't be scared to have conversation with your customer, I think is really important. And certainly in the early days when we're a bit nervous, we're a bit uncertain, we push something out there and we don't really want to hear feedback. And that takes bravery. It takes bravery to say, look, do you like my product? Because there is a risk that they don't.
So there you are, viewers. Rich is saying, don't just say, this is a great cup, this is a fantastic cup. He's saying, are your customers perceiving that cup that way? In other words, Rich is saying, please put yourself in your customer's shoes. Begin to understand your product or your service from the point of view of your customers. And he has used the word, don't allow your passion to blindfold you so that you then forget to understand from the point of view of your customers. Thank you very much, Richie. And any last words before we say bye-bye?
Just good luck to anybody out there that's thinking of starting a new business. If you've already got a business, good luck. It's trying times at the moment, but we will come out the other end. It won't be back to normal. It'll be a new normal. And I think the opportunity for us to create that new normal is really important. There's only one person that's responsible for the way your life turns out, and that's you.
Yeah.
Nobody else is going to make any decisions for you. So good luck, and thank you for allowing me the chance to share.
Wow, what a closing summary. There you are, viewers. He's saying, we or yourself and myself are only our enemies. We are only the people to stop ourselves from achieving our fullest potential. And that's why I recall he used to say that although we are in COVID-19, but again, this is an opportunity for us to introspect and come up with creative ideas of how we can move forward. And we're looking at different business tips. For example, how do you get into business? And he's told us that you need to look at what you are good at, you need to be passionate about it, and you need to remain open. And he also shared with us a matrix. For example, what does the world need? What can I be paid for? And what am I good at? And then you concentrate on those issues. And some of the lessons, he has mentioned the issue of being customer focused all the time, understanding your products and your services from the point of view of your customers. He has also told us that there is need for us to be consistent, robust, and rigor in the way that we deliver our products and services. Thank you very much, our viewers, and I can assure you this is not the last time that you have heard from Richie. I want to believe in the forthcoming episodes we'll be having Richie again with us here. Thank you very much for watching. Have a lovely day, and please stay safe. Remember, keep social distancing.